What if I told you there's a secret weapon that makes any woman who walked away from you quietly regret it, without you lifting a finger or sending a single desperate text? This isn't about making her feel bad. It's about something far more powerful, making her realize she lost a man she will never replace. Stay with me, because if you've ever felt the pain of being left behind, if you've ever wanted to stop chasing women who don't see your worth, this video will be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. Comment "Silence is power" below if you're ready to learn exactly how to make her regret leaving you and never look back. It hurts, doesn't it? Watching someone you gave everything to walk away like you meant nothing. She might not even have looked back. Maybe you're sitting there right now, replaying what you did wrong, wondering if you should reach out. I know exactly how you feel, and I'm telling you, if you keep going down that road of regret, she will win. She'll have the upper hand forever because she knows that the moment she snaps her fingers, you'll be there. But what if you could reverse that? What if, instead of breaking down, you became the man she never thought you could be, the one she regrets leaving and can't get out of her head? No begging, no emotional texts, no awkward conversations. Just one strategy. Stay tuned, and I promise by the end of this, you won't be the man she left. You'll be the man she wants back, but can't have. Comment "I'm strong" if you're ready to listen all the way to the end. Number 1. Her ego versus reality. When she walks away from you, understand that her initial reaction is not regret, it's relief. Relief that she has options. Relief that society tells her she's always right, and that someone better is waiting around the corner. That's why, at first, she won't feel the weight of what she just did. She'll feel empowered because modern society feeds women validation on a silver platter. She'll post pictures with captions like, "On to bigger things," or "Better without you," and her friends will fill her comment section with heart emojis, telling her she deserves a king. Her DMs will light up with guys sending compliments and promises of attention, and for a brief moment, she'll convince herself she's leveled up. This is the biggest lie she will ever believe, and it's the one that will haunt her the most later. But in that moment, her ego is on a high. She doesn't think about what she lost because she's too busy celebrating the illusion of what she's gained. And here's where most men screw up. They see this validation as proof that they've been replaced. They assume that because she's getting attention from other men, she's forgotten about them. They panic. They think they have to act fast before she moves on completely, so they call, text, and beg for another chance. They write long paragraphs explaining their feelings, hoping she'll change her mind. But all they're doing is feeding her ego further, confirming that she has power over them. You can't win her respect by groveling. Women don't respect men who put them on pedestals. The moment you show her that her leaving has shattered you, she's won. You've validated her decision, and now she sees you as weak. And women don't regret leaving weak men. They forget them. The more you chase, the more forgettable you become because you've shown her that you're just like the rest of the guys in her DMs, desperate for her attention. But what she doesn't realize, and what you need to understand, is that her initial high is temporary. The validation she's getting right now is surface level. Those guys in her DMs, they don't care about her personality or her dreams. They don't know the details about her life that you knew. To them, she's just another pretty face. They're there for the short-term thrill, and the moment they get bored, they'll move on to the next woman posting selfies online. And when that happens, when the messages slow down and her friends stop hyping her up, that's when reality hits her. She'll be alone, sitting in her room, scrolling through old photos of you and wondering why you haven't reached out. She'll start comparing the way you made her feel to the way these new guys treat her. She'll notice the difference between someone who genuinely cared and someone who's just looking for a hookup. And that's when the cracks in her ego will start to show. But this only happens if you disappear. If you're still sending her messages or liking her posts, she won't feel that void because you're still giving her the attention she craves. The only way to create that void is to walk away completely. Your silence will be louder than any words you could ever say. It will echo in her mind, filling the empty spaces where your validation used to be. And here's the truth. Women don't miss men who chase them. They miss the men who they thought were beneath them, only to realize too late that those men were irreplaceable, and the only way to become that man is to cut her off and let her ego starve. Silence is powerful because it forces her to sit with her thoughts. Women are emotional creatures, and when they don't have closure, they create their own. They start imagining scenarios in their heads, wondering if they made the right choice. And the longer you stay silent, the more those thoughts will consume her. She'll replay the moments you spent together, thinking about the things you did for her, the way you supported her when no one else did. She'll think about the times she felt safe with you, the way you made her laugh, and the way you looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. But here's the catch. She'll only think about those things if you give her nothing to hold on to in the present. If you're still texting her, still checking her stories, still reacting to her posts, she won't feel your absence. She'll know you're still there, waiting for her to change her mind. And as long as she knows you're waiting, she won't feel the need to reach out. The moment you go silent, the moment you stop reacting to her, is the moment she starts realizing what she lost. And don't think for a second that she'll admit it to you. Women will never come out and say, "I made a mistake." Their pride won't let them, but you'll see it in their actions. She'll start liking your old photos, hoping you'll notice. She'll view your stories, hoping you'll reach out. She'll send a random, "How have you been?" text, pretending it's casual when, in reality, she's testing the waters to see if you're still hers. But here's where most men mess up again. They take these signs as proof that she wants them back, and they jump right back into her trap. They respond immediately, pouring out their feelings, hoping to rekindle the relationship. But all they're doing is giving her back the control she lost. The moment you engage with her emotionally, you're back in her game. And trust me, she's not reaching out because she wants to be with you. She's reaching out because she wants to know she can still control you. The only way to win this game is to not play it. Don't respond to her breadcrumbs. Don't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still has power over you. Instead, focus on leveling up. Hit the gym, build your career, and improve yourself in every way possible. When she sees you thriving without her, when she sees that you've become the man she underestimated, her regret will become unbearable. She'll realize that the man she took for granted is now the man she can't have. But by then, it won't matter, because you won't be the same man she left. You'll be stronger, wiser, and more self-assured, and she'll be stuck wondering what could have been if she hadn't let you go. That's the power of silence. It's not about punishing her. It's about reclaiming your worth and showing her that you don't need her validation to be happy. Women respect power, and there's nothing more powerful than a man who doesn't need them. When you stop chasing women and start chasing your purpose, you become the kind of man they regret leaving. And the beauty of it is, by the time they realize what they lost, you'll have already moved on to bigger and better things. This isn't about revenge. It's about evolution. The man she left isn't the man she'll regret. The man she'll regret is the one who rose from the ashes of rejection and became something she could never have imagined. So stop chasing her. Stop trying to win her back. Win yourself back instead. Because when you do, she won't be the prize. You will. Number 2. Silence is the weapon. Silence is the most misunderstood weapon men have. Most men think power comes from grand gestures or intense arguments. They think they need to say the perfect words to make her realize what she's missing. But the truth is, nothing you say will ever be as powerful as what you don't say. Silence is what turns the tables. It's the absence of your words, your presence, and your energy that makes her mind spin. And trust me, once she starts overthinking, you've already won half the battle. Let me break down why silence works on a psychological level. Women are wired to seek emotional responses. Their entire communication style revolves around creating and interpreting emotions. When you're in a relationship, they want your attention, your compliments, your reassurance. When they leave, they still expect that same attention in the form of begging or emotional reactions. It's how they gauge their importance in your life. When you react, whether it's anger, sadness, or desperation, you're giving them exactly what they want, validation that they still matter to you. But when you go silent, when you give them nothing, their world turns upside down. Suddenly, they don't know where they stand. They don't know if you're hurting, if you've moved on, or if you've forgotten them entirely. And for a woman, that uncertainty is unbearable. Women hate uncertainty because it takes away their power. It makes them feel vulnerable, and vulnerability triggers their anxiety. They'll start replaying the breakup, wondering if they made the right choice. They'll overanalyze your silence, trying to figure out what it means. Did you meet someone new? Did you stop caring? Are you happier without her? And here's the beauty of it. She won't have answers because you're not giving her any. That's when her imagination kicks into overdrive. Women live in their heads far more than men do, and silence creates a vacuum that her mind will fill with doubt, regret, and curiosity. She'll start checking your social media, hoping for clues about what you're up to. She'll ask mutual friends if they've seen you or heard anything about you. Every time she sees you living your life without her, it will chip away at her ego. Because deep down, she thought you'd crumble. She thought you'd be waiting for her to come back. But now, she's realizing that you're not the man she assumed you were. Let's take this a step further. Imagine you've gone completely silent after the breakup. You're not texting her, you're not liking her posts, and you're not reacting to anything she's doing. Meanwhile, she's trying to convince herself that you're hurting, even though she has no proof. So she decides to test the waters. She posts a picture of herself looking good, hoping you'll react. She waits for your name to pop up in her notifications, but it doesn't. Now she's wondering if you even saw the picture. So she checks to see if you viewed her story. You didn't. That's when the panic sets in. She'll start thinking about the last time you talked, the things you said, and whether you've moved on. The longer you stay silent, the more desperate she becomes for answers. But here's the twist. She won't reach out right away because her ego won't let her. She'll wait, hoping you'll be the one to break the silence. When you don't, she'll crack. It might take weeks or even months, but eventually, she'll give in. And when she does, it won't be because she misses you. It'll be because she misses the control she thought she had over you. But don't make the mistake of thinking that her reaching out means she wants you back. Women rarely come back out of love. They come back out of curiosity, regret, or fear of being replaced. If she reaches out and you immediately respond with emotional vulnerability, you're handing her back the power she lost. She'll know that her absence still affects you, and she'll use that to her advantage. Maybe she'll lead you on, breadcrumbing you with small bits of attention just to keep you hooked. Maybe she'll apologize and say she misses you, only to pull away again once she knows she's back in control. This is why silence is only effective if you stay committed to it. You can't go silent for a few days and then cave the moment she sends a text. That's not silence. That's a pause. True silence means no contact. It means ignoring her attempts to get your attention. It means focusing on your own growth instead of obsessing over what she's thinking. And here's the part most men don't understand. Silence isn't just about making her regret leaving you. It's about reclaiming your power and showing her, and yourself, that you don't need her validation to feel valuable. When you go silent, You're telling her without words that you've moved on. Even if you haven't fully moved on yet, your silence plants that seed in her mind. And once that seed is planted, it grows into doubt, regret, and obsession. She'll start wondering if you've met someone new, if you're happier without her, or if you've finally realized that you deserve better. And the longer you stay silent, the more those thoughts will consume her. Here's where the real power lies. When she finally reaches out, you'll be in control. You won't need her validation because you'll have already given it to yourself through your actions. You'll have spent your time building your body, your mind, and your future. And by the time she tries to come back, she won't be reaching out to the man she left. She'll be reaching out to the man she underestimated, the man she thought she could replace, only to realize too late that he's irreplaceable. And don't think for a second that she won't notice the difference. Women are highly intuitive when it comes to reading emotional energy. She'll sense that you're not the same man who begged her to stay. She'll feel the shift in your confidence, your demeanor, and your overall presence. And that shift will hit her harder than any words you could have said. Because now, she's not just dealing with the loss of the man she left. She's dealing with the realization that the man she wants no longer wants her. This is why silence is the ultimate weapon. It forces her to confront the consequences of her actions without you having to do anything. It puts the ball in her court, but by the time she's ready to play, you're already on a different field. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's not about punishing her. It's about setting yourself free. It's about showing her that your worth isn't tied to her approval and that you're capable of thriving without her. Silence is how you remind her that she didn't just lose a man, she lost the man. The man who could have given her everything she wanted if only she had valued him when she had the chance. And by the time she realizes that, you'll be long gone, living a life she can only watch from a distance. Number 3. The regret creeps in. When does regret start creeping into her mind? Not when you're begging her to stay. Not when you're sending her long messages about how much you miss her. Regret doesn't hit her when you're chasing her. Regret starts when you're gone, completely gone. She can't regret losing you if you're still there, waiting for her to change her mind. As long as you're reaching out, reacting to her posts, or staying in her orbit, she won't feel the weight of what she lost. But the moment you vanish, the moment she realizes that she no longer has access to you, that's when the cracks in her confidence begin to form. At first, she'll convince herself she's fine. She'll tell herself that your silence means you're still hurting. Women love to believe that a man who goes silent after a breakup is doing so because he's too heartbroken to speak. In her mind, you're still thinking about her, crying into your pillow and waiting for her to realize her mistake. She'll assume that any day now, you'll come crawling back. And during this phase, she won't feel any regret. She'll feel validated because she believes she's in control. But over time, silence creates doubt. She'll notice that you haven't reacted to her posts. You haven't sent her a "just checking in" text. She'll wonder if you've blocked her, but when she checks, she realizes you haven't. You've just stopped caring. That's when the seed of regret is planted. Doubt starts creeping in during the quiet moments, when she's alone at night, scrolling through her phone and wondering why you haven't reached out. She'll check your profile, hoping for a clue about what you're doing, but all she sees are photos of you smiling, living your life, and looking better than ever. That's when she starts to panic. Women are emotional creatures, and their minds are designed to overanalyze. She'll start wondering why you're not acting the way she expected you to. In her mind, you should be broken. You should be missing her, waiting for her to come back. But instead, you've gone silent, and that silence is deafening. It creates a void in her life that no amount of external validation can fill. The guys sliding into her DMs aren't you. The attention she's getting from social media isn't the same as the genuine love and care you once gave her. And slowly but surely, she'll start to feel the weight of what she's lost. She'll replay your relationship in her mind, focusing on the moments when you made her feel special. She'll think about the times you supported her, the times you made her laugh, and the times you stood by her when no one else did. Those memories will hit her harder than any argument or breakup conversation ever could, because now she's experiencing them without you. She can't just text you and relive those moments. She can't just call you and hear your voice. Your silence has turned you into a memory, and memories are powerful because they exist in a world that she can no longer access. But here's the thing about regret. It doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in slowly, like a shadow she can't escape. At first, it's just a thought. I wonder what he's doing. Then it becomes an obsession. Is he happier without me? Is he seeing someone else? Eventually, she'll start comparing every guy she meets to you. She'll notice the differences, the way they talk, the way they treat her, the way they make her feel. And no matter how good they are, they won't measure up to the idealized version of you that exists in her mind. Because here's the truth, women don't regret losing the real you. They regret losing the version of you that they created in their heads. In her mind, you were the perfect boyfriend, the guy who made her feel loved and valued. She won't remember the arguments or the flaws. She'll remember the good times, and she'll romanticize them until you become the one that got away. But this only happens if you stay silent. If you reach out, you shatter the illusion. You remind her that you're still available, and she won't feel the need to miss you. Silence forces her to reflect on her decisions, and reflection leads to regret. She'll start to realize that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. The guys she thought would be better than you aren't living up to her expectations. The attention she thought would fulfill her is starting to feel empty. And now, she's stuck wondering if she made a mistake. But here's where most men fail. They take her regret as a sign that she wants them back. They think that because she's reaching out, it's their chance to fix things. But her regret isn't about you. It's about her ego. She's not reaching out because she loves you. She's reaching out because she wants to know if you still love her. That's why you can't fall for the trap. When she sends that, "Hey, how have you been?" text, it's not because she wants to get back together. It's because she wants to know if she still has control over you. If you respond emotionally, if you tell her how much you've missed her, she'll know that you're still hers. And once she knows that, her regret will disappear. She'll feel validated again, and she'll move on, knowing that you're still an option if she ever wants to come back. But if you don't respond, if you continue to stay silent, her regret will grow. She'll start questioning her self-worth because for the first time, she's facing rejection. She's used to being the one who decides when the relationship ends, but now you've taken that power away from her. And nothing terrifies a woman more than losing control. She'll start making excuses to reach out. Maybe she'll accidentally like one of your posts or send you a message pretending she needs something. But deep down, she knows she doesn't need closure. She needs validation. And when you don't give it to her, she'll spiral. Her regret will consume her, not because she misses you, but because she misses the way you made her feel. And that's the beauty of silence. It turns you into a mystery she can't solve. It forces her to confront the fact that she didn't just lose a man. She lost the man who made her feel safe, loved, and valued. And by the time she realizes that, it's too late. Number 4, no return. By the time she fully realizes what she lost, you're already gone. Not physically. You may still live in the same city, shop at the same stores, or hang out with mutual friends, but emotionally, you've moved on to a place she can't reach. And that's what drives her insane. She expected you to be waiting for her, hoping she'd come back, but instead, You've evolved into a man she no longer recognizes. You've become stronger, more confident, and more focused on your purpose. You're no longer seeking her approval because you've found validation within yourself. And that's the one thing she can't handle. Women thrive on control, and when they lose it, they panic. She'll try to reconnect, but by then it won't matter. You've outgrown the version of yourself that she left behind. You're not the man she rejected. You're the man she can't have. And that's a position of power that most men never experience because they never give themselves the chance to reach it. They spend so much time chasing after women who don't respect them that they forget what it feels like to be in control of their own lives. But once you've tasted that control, once you've seen what it's like to live without needing anyone's approval, you'll never go back. And here's the best part. Her regret won't be temporary. It won't fade after a few weeks or months. It will stay with her because you've become the man she thought didn't exist. You've proven her wrong, not through words but through actions. You've shown her that you don't need her to be happy, and that realization will haunt her for the rest of her life. She'll think about you every time she meets a new guy. She'll compare them to you, wondering if they'll ever measure up. And the answer will always be no, because you're not just a memory. You're a lesson. A lesson in what happens when you take someone for granted. A lesson in what happens when you underestimate a man's potential. And that lesson will replay in her mind every time she's alone, wondering what could have been if she hadn't walked away. But by then, it won't matter, because you'll be too busy living your life, achieving your goals, and building a future that doesn't include her. And that's the ultimate power. To be the man she regrets losing, not the man who regrets losing her. The greatest revenge isn't getting her back, it's becoming the man she can't have. When you stop chasing women and start chasing your purpose, you become the kind of man who doesn't need validation from anyone. Women respect power, and nothing is more powerful than a man who's in control of his emotions and his life. If this video resonated with you, don't just watch it passively, act on it. Start improving yourself today. Hit the gym, build your career, and cut off anyone who doesn't see your worth. Because the moment you become the man she regrets leaving is the moment you realize that you don't need her to begin with. Comment, "I am unstoppable," if you're ready to take back your power and never look back. Subscribe to the channel to support this movement and help YouTube recommend content like this to other men who need to hear it. Your support makes this message accessible to thousands who are stuck in the same cycle of chasing people who don't deserve them.